Wind missing. Visibility more than 1, 0. Sky condition missing. Temperature missing. Dew point missing. Altimeter 2, 9er, 9er, 5.
Sanford Seacoast Regional Airport.
Automated weather observation 1728 Zulu weather. Wind 200 at 9er. Visibility.
Okay, still planning to go to 14.
Sounds like a plan.
Sanford traffic, system 53468. Upwind runway 14, straight out, Sanford.
Set.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Just kind of, you remember the default on the stick, Rob, is just kind of keep it all the way, especially kind of going downgrade like this. So stick comes all the way aft, all the way back.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
well,
there you go.
Because of the wind on the tail, I was...
Well, what you'd have to, I guess
Okay.
what you can consider is the strength of the propeller blast coming off the airplane and then weigh that against that gentle breeze.
Okay.
And the propeller blast is far, far more higher than the gentle breeze. So I would say I probably wouldn't go forward on a stick until I was getting up in the neighborhood of like 25, 30 knots behind the airplane.
Okay.
I mean, and then the other thing you can consider too is just neutral. You know, just hold neutral stick, and then as the airplane's on 3 points, the elevator is inherently already deflected downward. But when you're by yourself, especially kind of going downgrade, you can kind of feel that little tippiness going forward, and that's where, you know, just having that back pressure will just help safeguard you from, you know, in case you touch down on the brakes a little bit or.
(916) Bravo Alpha, departing runway 14 Sanford.
Yeah, I've got the real latch.
Ready, John?
We're ready.
Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha is departing runway 14, closed traffic, Sanford.
So if you can effectively get the tail wheel up on the, on the takeoff run here, and depart where the right wheel is still glued to the runway because of aileron control, boy, wouldn't that be cool? So the ailerons, I would already have my ailerons fully deflected. Oh, there you go, good. That's it, raise the tail. And then let it roll on that one wheel. Hey, you're just being a little anxious, that's all. There's no harm in letting the airplane accelerate a little bit. I mean, in that case, you had the performance, to kind of get it off, but, be patient. If you lower the nose, Rob, there's nothing wrong with 60 miles an hour, but if you lower the nose, you'll actually have much better visibility for scanning for other traffic. And look at your runway over here on your right. You can see the drift. So pretty cool. Good day for this.
Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha's left crosswind 14, Sanford.
Boy, after being in gliders all week, this is weird. I think we made a decision to go ahead and put the glider together and spend the last 6 weeks of decent weather here doing some soaring right here at Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha's left base 14, Sanford.
So it's not really much of a crosswind, just a little baby crosswind, but not a bad idea. Try to maintain that 70 miles an hour, maybe just a little longer than you were last week, and for no other reason, just to take your time. Go ahead and gobble up as much of that runway as your heart's desire. And then just tell yourself rudders to keep her going straight and tilt the wings to keep it from drifting from the center. And then just make sure the balls of your feet are nice and low on the pedal so there's no chance of actuating the brakes. So eyeballs down the far end of the runway. Not too shabby, Rob. I'm sure you can get a more elegant touch than that. I don't know if you noticed, but for the most part, you were kind of surrendering, almost removing all the crosswind technique. And so that being said, the ailerons, right, as you come to a stop, should be fully deflected all the way into the wind. Whenever you're ready, away we go. So the ailerons should be, oh, there you go. Yeah, you're eager to get it up on that one wheel. Nice. That's it, take your time. And again, if you lower your nose, the climb speeds, you'll see like anywhere close to 80 miles an hour just gives you this wonderful perception over the front. It looks like some ground fog, huh? Out over the coast?
Yeah.
Wow. I would have thought it was too hot already. You'll find about 2,000 RPM. It's not a requirement or anything. You just find it's a nice, peaceful RPM that will help minimize. We're what, a couple of 100 feet higher than your heart's desire there, and that 2,000 will just kind of minimize some of those over climbing tendencies. And you can see for yourself the airplane just kind of purrs like a kitten at 2,000.
Stanford traffic, Cessna 53569 is 5.5 to the south. What runway is being used over there?
Well, so Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha is left base for 14 Sanford.
Southern Maine Aviation. Favoring 25. Up pilot's discretion.
Stanford traffic, Cessna 569 is 4 miles to the south, going to overfly the airfield at 2,000 and enters a left downwind for runway 214, Stanford.
Stanford traffic, or 314.
3152 Kilo is 10 miles to the south. We're going to overfly the airport at 2,000 feet and then make left traffic for runway 14 also, Sanford.
And Sanford traffic, last calling, where's your position at?
10 miles to the south.
All right, Roger, we're now 3 miles to the south. We're going to do a sort of a teardrop entry to the right and then, or correction, to the east and then enter the downwind.
All right, I can see on the TCAS, we're going to be probably 4 or 5 miles behind you. We're going to do the same thing. We'll be announcing position as we get closer.
Rob, good job with the go. And let me tell you what, I have full control. Leave the flaps where they are, right? And I'm just going to go right back down to the bottom here. And just a little side slip. And just kind of watch what I do with the wheel here. That's going to get that wheel close to the pavement, close to the pavement, close to the pavement. There it is. And up on one wheel. You got to have the music for this. So basically, I can, and you have full control there. So basically, you can just kind of, pretend the airplane only has one wheel on it, only the wheel and rear, and you have full control. And see if you can just kind of take your time. I know there's like a little bit of turbulence associated with the breeze today, but just kind of ease and see if you can get on that one wheel and ride the wheel as long as you can.
A teardrop entry to the right, entering the left downwind for runway 14, Sanford traffic.
And of course, obviously, if the airplane's going too fast, it gets a little cumbersome. It just wants to leave the ground. And if it gets a little slow, well, that makes it difficult to hold the wing up.
Sanford traffic, so Tabria 291 Charlie Alpha is turning left crosswind 14 Sanford. Yeah, thank you for that. That shows me what the...
Traffic, Tabria, we got you in sight. We're going to come in behind you, enter the left downwind. Sanford traffic.
That helps me see what the envelope is, you know?
Oh, sure. 5 miles south inbound for runway 14 Sanford. We're going to overfly the field at 2,000 and then enter the left downwind for runway 14 Sanford.
I mean, one of the coolest things that we have here at Sanford is just having those nice long runways. Yeah. It gives us the opportunity to have a little bit of time to manage the airplane. Can you imagine if the folks down at Hampton, they only have like several seconds to either land or go around. So don't get me wrong, it's a wonderful training environment because the challenges are far greater than Sanford, but they don't have the opportunity to learn at the shallower gradient that we have up here.
Yeah, that's great just to see that it doesn't have to be spot on. It can be off
right. Yeah, you mess around, and I promise you, as your proficiency grows, oh man, you'll be setting us down within a stripe and a half.
Sanford traffic, Cessna 569 is entering the left downwind for runway 14, number 2 in the pattern.
And the best sight picture for everything we're doing here when you're close to the ground is just try to keep looking down the far end of the runway, get the big picture.
North Central jump 4 is 10,000 feet of the field, got 2. North Central jump 4 is 10,000 feet of the field, got 1 jumper away, watch out below North Central.
Sanford traffic, Tabria 291 Charlie Alpha is left base 14, stop and go, Sanford.
So we'll think of this as sort of a touch and go. And just pretend there's only one wheel on the airplane, and it's the one on the right-hand side. So you're going to try to hold it up on that one wheel as long as you can.
Sanford traffic, Cessna 569 is turning left base for runway 14, number 2 to the field.
Sanford traffic, Ori 3152 kilos, over the field, 2,000 feet. We're going to do a right teardrop entry into the left downwind for runway 14 Sanford.
Yeah, you're going to want to restore a little power here, because if it gets slow, it'll be impossible to demonstrate the maneuver.
And 52 kilo has both the Citabria and the Cessna in sight.
Now you're cooking. Okay, let me join you here in the controls. Let me join you. Little more, Aileron. That's me. Let's move the rudder. Right? Little more power. Little more power. And I'm just going back to the center line. Little less power now. A little bit more aileron. All right? And go ahead and go 1/2 flaps. 1/2 on the flaps.
1/2.
All right? And we got plenty of runway and time to go. And away we go. Carburetor eats away. And you have full control. So sometimes what happens, no matter how hard we try to, do that wheel, that one wheel landing,
runway
is
14. There's an aircraft in the pattern here, not talking to anybody. I just had to do evasive action to mess him. Looks like a Cub.
Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha is upwind 14, Sanford. Close traffic.
Sanford traffic, Ori 3152 kilos downwind, runway 14 Sanford. There's a Cub on left base for runway 14, apparently Nordo, Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Cessna 569 is on the upwind, going to be making a left crosswind for runway 14.
Sanford traffic. Sanford traffic, Ori 3152 kilo, left base, runway 14 Sanford.
In Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha is left downwind 14 with the landing traffic in sight. Sanford.
For the crosswind for the left downwind to 23 and north central.
Same thing, one wheel landing.
Yeah, just if you're having fun with it, Rob. Don't get frustrated with it. Only if you're having fun. But like I say, the key is you do have to maintain controllable speed. If you let the airplane decelerate to normal landing speeds, then both wheels are just going to kind of kaplop on the ground. So that's what this is all about: is experiencing the characteristics when the airplane is manageable, when you maintain that nice sweet spot. And you can feel it. You can feel it when it's starting to be like, oh, I can't keep it rolled, or I can't keep it flying. You just add a little bit of power.
It's going around it.
Sanford traffic, Ori 3152 kilos.
If you want to make a beeline for the numbers, we do have people following us.
Downwind, runway 14, aircraft on the runway.
That'll prevent the people from following us to have to go so far downwind.
Sorry, say again?
So I was suggesting if you brought it to the numbers, then the folks that are behind us wouldn't have to go so far downwind.
On the downwind. That's the same guy that wasn't talking to you?
Yeah, I think he's a Cub out of Hampton. There's no transponder, no radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Outstanding, isn't it?
Nice for him to sit on the runway, too.
It's a shame people have to talk like that.
I know.
Just, it's like they totally don't get it.
It's uncontrolled airport. That's how it works.
Traffic, Cessna 569 is going to extend the downwind to runway 14.
Sanford traffic, Tailwheel 291 Charlie Alpha, final 14 Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Cessna 569 is turning a left base for runway 14, Sanford.
And Sanford traffic, Warrior 3152 Kilo, right downwind, runway 14, traffic 1 and 2 in sight will come in behind the Cessna. Looks like the Cubs just now turning off, Sanford. 5 minutes later.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So all we got is one wheel on the right-hand side. So just keep a nice, friendly flying airplane so you can make it do whatever you want. Get it nice and close to the surface before you get it any slower. So it's just kind of a normal landing, isn't it? So you need to keep your speed up. Let me just help you here. A little more power, right? Don't be bashful. A little more power, right? Now the power's up. Now we can do the just kind of do a little control thing here.
Sanford traffic 3152 Kilo, right base, runway 14, Cessna.
We could do this forever, right? Full power, car beats cold, and just be gentle on the flaps, and you have full control. Yeah, so all you're doing it, Rob, is you're doing a great job with the approach and landing, but once you get the airplane down to that normal approach speed, well, you know, it just finishes with a normal landing, that's all. But if you keep your speed up just another 5 miles an hour, oh, you'll have all the authority you need to get the job done.
Okay.
Sanford traffic 3152 Kilo on about a mile and a half final, runway 14 for full stop. Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Tailwheel 291 Charlie Alpha is left downwind, 14 Sanford.
And Sanford traffic 569 is on the go. We're going to be doing one more pattern. And 569 is turning left crosswind for runway 14, Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Warrior 3152 Kilo is going to be making the left turn on runway 7, and then the left turn on taxiway Echo, Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Skyhawk 569 is on the downwind for runway 14, Sanford.
2 Kilo is clear, all runways on taxiway Echo. And Sanford traffic, looks like that Cub is just taking runway 14, presumably for departure.
Sanford traffic, Stabria 291 Charlie Alpha, final for 14, Sanford.
Yeah, this would be a great place for a forward slip, huh?
Sanford traffic, Sky 569 is turning left base runway 14 Sanford.
Get that rudder down, and then enough aileron to maintain the approach course. But don't let the airplane accelerate, because once the airplane accelerates, that kind of takes out all the efficiency. There you go. And now we bleed off some altitude. All right, keep a nice friendly flying airplane now. Don't let it get slow. Keep it nice and friendly. One wheel down. Right, you're just going for the normal landing. Yeah, once it's this slow, Rob, it's not possible to hold it up on one wheel. Watch, just a little, just join down the controls. A little more speed. Now I have aileron authority. Now she's up, and now it's like, now you can do whatever you want. But once you get slow, right? Once you get slow, it's no longer practical. So now I have lots of airflow over the airplane. And I can increase my bank, decrease my bank. I'm slowing my speed down here because I have actually too much. All right, and there we have with 1,000 feet remaining, a smooth application of full power. The carb heats cold, and away we go. But there's little doubt in my mind that if you were to just kind of bring this to a full stop, with the crosswind, you're doing great. The exercise is nothing more just to become very familiar with the touchy feeling of the airplane. What's the airplane doing? I think that might be the alternator. Yeah, if there's no traffic, maybe we can, I was going to say, maybe we can close our pattern up a little bit if there's no traffic.
Sanford.
Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha, left downwind 14, Sanford.
So Rob, for this landing, why don't we consider just a plain vanilla, stop and go, just like you've been doing.
569 is upwind, it's going to be
And that being said, let's see if we can do it without the use of power. So let's see if we can bring the power to idle nice and smoothly. I don't believe there's anybody in front of you.
And Sanford traffic, Cessna 67930 is holding short of 14.
And then just manage the altitude you have here for a successful approach and landing.
Wow.
I'm sorry?
That wind.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit of a breeze. So just plan a plain stop and go, just like you've been doing.
Okay. Sanford traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha, left base 14, Sanford.
So what's a nice target speed here?
70.
Oh yeah, and I mean I'm not big on chasing the airspeed indicator, but just see if you can get a nice relaxed position on the stick for an attitude, right? A sight picture that will be approximately 70 miles an hour. Then you can just look outside and have fun. All right, so it's a simulated power off landing, and we'll see if you can just take your time and manage that little bit of a crosswind.
Sanford traffic, Skyhawk 569 is departing to the south, Sanford.
Said stop and go or
A plain vanilla stop and go.
Okay.
And Sanford traffic, Cessna 67930 is upwind 14, and we'll be departing to the south as well. Sanford traffic.
So where should the ailerons be?
To the right.
Yeah, all the way to the stop. All the way to the stop as far as they go. All right, Rob, not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, I know that's one of the hardest disciplines. I'll let you get out of here because there could be somebody behind us, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, the whole idea is just smooth and fluid. Ailerons fully deflected. Ah, nice job. Yeah, so in that case, there was just a little too much, huh? Just a little too much crosswind, technique.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of doing that to play around a little, actually. But.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I love it. But what we need to do is get it over the center first, and it's just so that you don't accidentally drift into the lights.
Yeah.
In other words, once you have it in the middle of the runway, then you're saying, okay, I have control.
Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha, upwind to 14, close traffic, Sanford. That was pretty good. I was pleased with that landing.
No, not too shabby.
Except for shaking the tail wheel, but up until that point.
What you do is use the speed that you have in the airplane to ever so diligently just kind of relax the tail wheel on the ground.
I see what you mean. If I had let it fall, it might not have done that, as opposed to kind of bringing it down too soon, right?
Yeah, and then just consider too, you be the judge, but every time you bring that stick forward, you get an increase in rate of descent. Sometimes it's rather sudden, and it can be a handful to counter it. So just before you suddenly go forward on the control stick, just ask yourself if you can't just be a little more patient and just wait for it to kind of settle down a little bit. But anytime you get anxious and go forward on a stick, you get that sudden burst downward.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong, when you're doing a wheel landing, after the wheels touch down, sure, we're going to go forward on a stick, but that's after the wheels touch down, not when we're still in flight.
Yep.
And then the other thing that you can consider, you be the judge, you know what's best for you, but maybe instead of using as much flaps as we had earlier for the power off, maybe just stay with half, or right where you are even.
Okay.
That tends to keep your speed up just a little higher, and it makes the airplane so much easier to manage.
Yeah, and I could have used the slip a little sooner rather than flaps, right?
You're not kidding, you're planning. Yeah, I'm already focused on the numbers. If you wanted me to touch down the numbers, that's what I'm focused on. What do I have to do to make that happen? So now with the additional application of drag, now you have to lower the nose, right? So if you want to stay with your 70 anyway.
Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha, final for 14, Sanford.
But using all the flaps that you have now for the power off crosswind, it's doable, but it's more challenging. That's why I was encouraging you to use half flaps or where you were.
Yeah, I'm a fan of half flaps. I think last time we spoke it was...
Sure, you can reduce it now if you want. So
okay.
Right. Sure, do whatever. There you go. Maybe one more notch down.
Okay.
No, one the other direction. That's almost none. Just leave them there. That'll work. All right, now just try to get a nice, smooth touchdown. But if you get the airplane slow, that's not going to happen. Looks like you're getting the airplane slow. That's it. That's it. Stay on the rudder. Beautiful. Ailerons into the wind. Nice. And now just kind of wait. Now kind of wait for everything to wind down. And when you feel like you have almost no more elevator, ease the tail down now. Nice and easy. Nice. And then stick back. All right, Rob. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. It looked like we had a little power in there for the landing. That's why it was just kind of floating a little bit on you. But awesome. See if you can do that again. That was sweet.
RP cold.
And just dial those ailerons all the way into the wind. Yeah, that's the stall warning horn going off, right? So that's why you don't really want to have that tail down too long.
I see.
I mean, you can see it's doable, but it puts you right on the verge of a takeoff departure stall.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why when it gets really turbulent, really gusty, we tend to favor a, more of a wheel takeoff where the tail is up. As soon as we have elevator authority, we like to get rid of that angle of attack. What runway could you land on if we lost our engine right about here?
25.
Make it happen. Yeah, just have fun with it. See what you can do for runway 25. I have the radios. You just focus on flying the airplane. South for traffic, Satabri 291 Charlie Alpha is just off of 14. Simulated engine failure. We're making left traffic now for 25, planning a stop and go, 25 Sanford. Alright, so the best you can, keep it in the middle of the runway and nice and straight.
Stand for traffic, that's 53468, 5 miles now southwest. You're making left traffic for 25 Sanford.
Stand for traffic, so top 291 Charlie Alpha, short final 25, stop and go for Sanford.
Please be aware that small birds at the floor, Sanford.
Alright, what can you do with the stick now? Beautiful, yes. As soon as you know that it's pretty much done flying, especially when there's wind involved, absolutely get that stick back, because that'll straighten the airplane right up for you. Alright, Rob, not too shabby. Hey, whenever you're ready, we'll plan a takeoff and climb from here. So carburetor heat goes cold.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Stand for traffic, that's 53468, area left down, runway 25.
That's the stall warning. Yeah, it's kind of screaming at you, right? Ooh, that's the stall warning horn indicator. Lower the nose. Yeah, that's a pretty precarious takeoff, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable, but it's not fun. Yeah, that's just being overly anxious to get the airplane off the ground. You just have to overcome it and say, nope, I'm going to be patient. Raise the tail and let her accelerate. Just stay right in the traffic pattern here for 25.
Okay.
And sight.
Type traffic, okay. Same for traffic, Satabria 291 Charlie Alpha's left base, left crosswind for 25 Sanford. That was a very strong crosswind. That was just more than I was having a hard time fathoming how strong it was.
But ask yourself, you be the judge, wouldn't it be even more important to let the airplane accelerate then, for good controllability? Yes. In other words, that might be a natural reaction to say, oh, Nearly, just, pull back on a stick and get it off the ground. And of course, with the Citabria with the 160 horse, you were able to pull it off even with me in the back here. But with another tailwheel that didn't have as much horsepower, that might not have worked out quite as good. So you just have to relax and say, nope, fly the nice level pitch attitude, let it accelerate, it'll go.
Yep. He's right there.
In sight.
Traffic at the 53468, turn to final, runway 25, full stop, Stanford.
And Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha's turn on left base 25, landing traffic in sight, Sanford.
Parachute activity over the field. 5 minutes for parachute activity over the field.
All right, why don't you just plan a normal approach and landing with the use of power, flaps, do whatever you want. Just try to get a nice quality touchdown right over the center of the runway.
Stanford traffic, set to 53468, we're running runway 25 on Charlie.
Once it's done, all right, that's me with just a little bit of run. Yeah, actually, Rob, that was awesome. But once you start raising the tail, once it's like kind of done, you start kind of like just leaving the tail light. Oh, the wind will have its way with you. So that's why if you just consider, just ease that stick right back, because boy, you had the tail so elegant, and then all of a sudden you whooped it up and whooped it back. And remember, it's a great big flipper back here. That's why it's making those big changes. Because boy, you see how big that elevator is, huh?
Yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready, we can depart from here. That's still the stall warning horn buzzer, Rob. Let me have full control here for a second. Okay, let's just try that over again. All right, so I'm down. We got a little bit of a tailwind. That's why it's a little precarious. Right, a smooth application of full power. There's level flight, right? We've got 1,000 feet remaining. Just be patient. A smooth application of full power. I just want you to see the attitude, and you have full control. So as soon as you hear that stall warning horn indicator, just remember that's that little machine barking at you to say, hey, lower the nose, lower the nose, lower the nose. And of course the turbulence is triggering it, maybe a little bit, making it a little bit more excitable than it has to be, but. If traffic permits, heck, let's see if we can enter midfield for 1-4. I haven't noticed anybody out there. My eyes are peeled, but I haven't seen anybody.
Oh, from which direction?
Right from here. We can go left there. Crosswind from 1-4.
Across the, okay.
That would be a crosswind entry.
I don't ever do those, so.
No, that's okay. And midfield, if you go right over the center of the runway, that'll at least give us a little separation from the departure end in case anybody uses 1-4.
Yep.
Okay, now we'll plan a landing on 1-4.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually had quite a little bit of a tailwind there on 2-5, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and throttle back, Rob. You got 2,600 RPM. And on a downwind, it's okay. You can fly like that, but boy, the engine is just screaming at you, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, you just throttle back and enjoy that nice little tone.
Watch out below North Central.
Yeah, I always do the 45 Lucetta, so this is
fine. This is all about the $2. I mean, if there's no one around and a crosswind entry is endorsed, through AOPR, and it is approved from the FAA. It's one of those accepted safe practices. So.
Okay. Sanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha is left downwind 14 Sanford.
But I always tell people if you're uncomfortable, don't do it. If you think that there's additional traffic that it may confuse, don't do it. What the heck for? Just stay with the 45, you bet.
Yeah, I do, because there are times where I just think only 0.1 on the hobs. You know, it doesn't matter. I'd rather go out and be safe and good visibility.
All right, let's go ahead and simulate an engine failure from here. The throttle's coming all the way up. Just kind of take your time and just kind of have fun with it. See what kind of quality touchdown you can get on 1-4 here without the use of power.
North Central, there's 2 canopies open over the field at 5,000 feet, North Central. Rob, I'll tell you what, if you can remember to ease that stick back, I'll give you a tailwheel endorsement because you're looking good, buddy. You're looking really good. But these are the accident preventers. Is if you get the stick all the way aft when it's all done, the ailerons into the wind, I'm not promising you a perfect landing, but you're not going to have an accident either.
Do one more?
We're ready. That was a nice departure. The stall wine horn didn't bark at you, right? You had nice controllable speed. Nicely done.
idle there, Rob. Nice and smoothly, right to idle, and just have fun with the power off. And just take your time, and especially when you're close to the ground, resist the temptation of making rapid inputs with the stick going forward. Because all it does is give you a really high rate of descent, and it just makes it really hard to manage. So just nice, soft little inputs on the stick.
Stanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha, left and wind 14. Just to beam the numbers, we're planning a full stop, 14 for Stanford.
And Sanford traffic 91 Bravo Alpha is turning on 45 to go downwind for runway 25 Sanford.
Sure, if you think you're high, sure, why not? Drag devices, why not? Nice and smooth. Just pretend you're taking really tremendous pride in your forward slip. That's it. Nice and smooth. Doesn't have to be aggressive. Not too shy, but you can see for yourself. Anytime you make those big inputs, right? It gets a little ugly. It's almost impossible not to. But as soon as you put a damper on those controls, oh, you'll be awesome.
Taxi back or go right again?
You can come over on the grass if you want here. That'll clear the runway. Sure, but you have to do it now. Otherwise, you have to wait for the light coming up. There you go.
Okay, can I taxi back?
You can taxi back in the middle of the grass here, and then that'll bring you over to Alpha.
Stanford traffic, Citabria 291 Charlie Alpha is clear 14, Stanford.
I got their rear window latch open if you want to open up the window there.
91 Bravo Alpha, turning base, runway 25, Sanford.
So there is a stick that's I believe they had a cone over it, and it's coming up at your 1230 toward the end there, and that's the only obstacle that I'm familiar with, and I can see it from here.
Should I go left of it or right of it? Or are you talking way down?
Way down there, yep.
Okay.
And I would recommend to the left.
Okay. A little bumpy over here.
Well, that's where the 700s, the tires that we have on a Citabria, they work out pretty good. They make the clumps a little smaller, so when we operate on the grass, it just makes it a little bit easier. And Sue's got 850s on her Cub, and well, that really makes the clumps littler.
You still have that in sight?
The cone? Yep.
Yep. Oh, that cone?
That cone.
Okay.
That's the only one. But you see, I can't see back here, Rob. Okay. So I'm delegating a high element of trust here with you that you can see in front of the airplane.
You had said stick, and so I was looking for a stick.
It is a stick.
Cone with a stick in it.
Yeah, it is a stick. And what they did is they put a cone on top of the stick because several months ago a tailwheel operator taxied over it and ripped the fabric all the way down the belly.
Oh, I see.
So they put a cone over it to make it more visible.
Oh, what's a good entry point over here? Right here?
Wherever there's no lighting, in between the lights.
Not a lot of room.
If you turn right here about 40 degrees, aim right for the open hangar. That'll give you a wide berth.